saying beforehand, if Egan and Betts can get this match won and get 5 points, that's going to put them in strong position. Still not going to know the outcome really though until the final match of the night, which is exactly how we like it.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a poor break from John there. He didn't really get through the cue ball, and you see whilst the pack didn't move, because you don't hit the pack flush, that's what can happen. He's sort of half miscued the break, but whilst John and Jaiden have got a chance on reds, it's not easy. First shot, can he open it up? It's a great shot. See, John's just pointing where he needs that cue ball. Has he come back enough for the red into the left centre? If not, John's got second chance where he can do it. You see there, John's pointing to tell me what he needs to play, and play this with a trace of left-hand side off the top rail and back out towards the middle of the table. As the left-hand side needs to avoid the yellow, and he's played it well. The hard thing here is he's sort of got to take a bit of the medicine, roll this red in, and he's going to have to leave his son Jaiden a tough red down the rail. This is hard to get position on the final red. Be telling him to play it confidently and come off the rail through the gap between the yellow and the reds. If you hit the red, you can get second prize. Just try to hold it, but with the pace of the table, it wasn't possible.
See, loading up with so much side here. Wow,
great
that's
shot.
turned out well, hasn't it? It's played that really well.
Yeah, he didn't want to be bridging over this 8-ball, but it's a great opportunity.
This is a tough pot though, isn't it? All the pressure in the world and queuing over the ball.
He's just missed it. I think if he wasn't bridging, he'd have got that, no problem. But bridge shots are tricky.
That's tough for Jaiden. He's obviously playing against opponents who are used to playing at a very high level. He knows that a mistake like that could be costly. So close to winning that first frame. Egan and Betts carrying on the pattern of the lightning fast play.
Yeah, the key one to get the frame is the yellow that's towards the left-hand side. They need to give themselves the right angle.
They're pointing at the table from both of them. I'm not sure quite understand the sign language, but hopefully they do.
Yeah, this is a shot now to just give yourself the right angle. You don't want to be short. I don't think it's too perfect, to be honest. There you go. No, this is missable. It could have been a lot straighter on this yellow.
Oh, that's a good confident shot though. It's easy to get down for that kind of shot and think, I wish I was somewhere else, but he didn't allow that to happen. He just got down and played it in a positive way.
I think
initially for the middle pocket.
Yeah, I think initially he may have thought he may have missed the yellow, but it just seemed to play it at the right pace to go in.
It's been a strange night for John and Jaiden. They have won a match, but they haven't really got going. I think so far they'll feel like they haven't really shown off their best. We obviously all know what a good player John Roe is, world champion.
Again, sign of a poor break is when the cue ball goes straight and off without kissing any other ball.
Yeah, his break is normally so impressive. That world title, hard to believe it was 13 years ago. It's pretty much this time of year, 13 years ago. It was all about that monster break. Just felt like he was bulldozing his way through the field.
The only bright side is if you are going off on your break, you don't want to lose an easy finish, and they've not left it easy. See John going for this, but he may actually have the perfect angle to top through into the red and yellow.
Just a slightly awkward angle there, but already expected him to miss.
Yeah, there's a good safety option for John here, though. If he wants to, he can just pop this one to the top right, play the red that's on the left-hand rail down the table, and leave the cue ball glued. So I think he's seen it as well. So we're just going to send the red down the table and leave the cue ball behind the other red.
Still thinking clearly.
Needs to get a hit. It's a good hit and a good cue ball.
The referee just told him before that shot that the ball he hit was frozen to the rail, so it's only just a legal shot. The second ball hit a cushion.
Not much of a safety shot here for John. He could play the other side and just clip off the red and send one of the hours to the side rail. Depends how thin he can hit this. May just glance off so thin that the red hardly moves.
Disturb that yellow. Have to see that remain tied up.
Not sure what he was aiming to achieve there. He could play an element of safety and just... He doesn't want to disturb the red though and get it wrong, so just rerouting. It's a nice shot.
See the potting angle, but there's no value in going for the pot, so decided to pull back. Feels like he's got a game made for this format, John Egan. See, he's loving it out there and playing very quickly, even quicker than the shot clock requires so far.
Yeah, I think if I'm John here, though, I think John, you can tell he really wants to go for the finish, John Egan. And if I was... The way the yellows are, they're not easy. I'd be sort of trying to dangle a little bit of a carrot and just to see... Oh, it's fouled. The yellow was frozen.
In the Battle of the Johns, a big moment now for Jaiden Roe.
So I would play the loss of turn here, where the red where the cue ball is, and just leave the cue ball there, pretty much where the red is. Just play the loss of turn, and he's just turned the tables on John Egan and taken control of the frame. This is an opportunity now for John to go for this frame. He can play the plant on the reds, natural position, and I expect him to get these.
Well, experience has told here. Jaiden Roe's playing a very clever frame. Trying to battle his way back into it. Looks like he's got the chance now.
The tricky shot is getting position on the 8 ball. It looks easy, but he's got to come through between the gap with the 8 ball and the yellow. Played it very well. Makes it 1-1. Game on. It's a good break by Sam. And again, ideally, you'd probably want to be on yellows, but you've got no starters, so you're going to have to deal with some tricky reds. And again, you can tell that Sam and John are attacking players, so they will be going here, but this is a high tariff finish. The negative pool player in me would sort of just leave the cue ball behind the red on the rail.
I feel like this pairing is particularly safety-minded unless the occasion absolutely demands it. I just think once one of them sets off in an attacking way as well, it almost sets the tone. I know this is a singles frame and they don't have to play the same way, but it just seems to be imbued in the DNA of this pair that they're going to go for everything that they can.
Yeah, this is where I think sometimes you have to play the opponent and sort of pull back a little bit, because it's probably a blessing in disguise that he's missed this, because he's not left Jaiden an easy finish, where if he'd have kept on going, the yellows could have been a lot easier.
Unquestionably the least experienced of the players, Jaiden Roe. We know he's a good player, but it's just so difficult to play well when you're out in this kind of pressure arena for the first time, particularly when it's been a kind of scrappy start. Although, I mean, got to take the positives, really. We're in the penultimate match of the night, and they're still in contention for the group win, so not a bad situation.
Yeah, and this is the good thing about the Pairs Cup when you're playing with your dad, who's a professional. John's pretty much said, "Don't go, just ask the question." It's because it's at the critical stage of the match, so it's a clever advice from John. He is trying to attack again. He's played it very well.
Now Jaiden's going to be saying to his dad, why'd you make me play that shot? Yeah, I mean, I think that has to be the strategy, doesn't it? Egan and Betts look like they're going to go after anything, so if it's a messy layout where they're not guaranteed it, probably is better to let them in first.
Yeah, cue ball needs to pull up. I think he can just check it enough to avoid the yellows on this. He's played it well. A little bit of an angle. He should still be able to hold the cue ball, but it's not going to be an easy 8 ball.
Someone cut a good red in the previous match. He follows that up with a good 8 ball in this match. 2-1 now to Betts and Egan for frame 4.
That deserves a ball. A lot of dry breaks tonight, and you can't hit a pack any better than that.
Yeah, the quality of breaking doesn't seem to have been that bad, but still only seen 2 clearances from players' own breaks. That's in the first couple of matches. Since then, that seemed a far cry. We've been talking about long tactical games more than first visit clearances. This is the frame for these two. If they can get 3-1 up, they're going to be in pole position in this match, and they're going to be in pole position in this group.
Yeah, they just need to work out what the correct route is, because all of a sudden it's a wee route, but I think it's probably a blessing. They'll just roll this one in and take the one down the rail after the shot for me. Because they could have used this yellow that they're playing now as their last ball to get on the 8 ball to the bottom right.
Yeah, and there you can see it felt like Sam had played for the other ball, but John was following your route.
Just that little nudge on the 8 ball just does make the position harder for the last shot. So
well, that's a positive endorsement. Both of the ways hit that shot and the quality of the table. It's very difficult playing with that much check side. That looks a fairly favourable nudge. So he's had cuts to end 3 of the last few frames he's played. He's made the first 2, and he makes the 3rd. Sam Betts and John Egan 3-1 up now with only 3 minutes 12 on the clock.
You see John there's just a quick glance at the clock. They need a win. So the 3-1 down, they do need 3 frames in under in 3 minutes. So whilst they need probably 2 quick finishes, they probably do need a golden duck or a golden rake to steal a quick frame to have any chance.
Well, especially the way their evening's gone, it just doesn't feel like they're about to pull out a 40-second clearance, does it?
No, and they've got to go for tricky reds here if they've got any chance, but I don't see it.
So we're back to singles. John Roe in play for the Roe pairing. Got the problem, obviously, bottom right. Red's in a tricky spot. Doesn't really want to get in the business of having to play tactical shots to promote it. He needs to try and get the clearance done here.
I think he's looking at playing a red off the yellow at some point here after this shot. But it's got to be thin, because if it's thick, it will go wide and he'll miss it. So it'll be a thin clip off the yellow. It's unfortunate, and Sam's got to do what he doesn't want to do, is run the clock a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't feel very natural. Although we did see earlier on, he did do it when he needed to. John's annoyed with that. It was never a great hope, but if he could have made that ball, opened up that pocket, could have got them back to a single frame behind. They would just about have been in it still. The issue here, of course, as well for Sam, is that if he pots a few loose balls and doesn't make the clearance, he's going to leave enough time, and he's going to leave a more open table. Although, if the opponent's 2 back, he's still got to feel comfortable.
Yeah, he's just got to play sensible here and just slip off the yellow and just leave the cue ball behind it. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Real last chance stuff this for John Roe now, and 1 minute 14 on the match clock, so got to make something happen here.
And John's just opened the frame up and a bit of a swing of a cue.
Now effectively all but over. For a moment he was about to play the shot too quickly. He's just remembered that that's not what he's supposed to be doing. Doesn't really matter though in this position. Ideally he'd have loved to be on the ball down the rail just to take a bit more time, but even a safety shot here will use up enough time. Finds the pot. So
Come on, Sam, for the fans.
it's going to have to play 2 long balls up the rails here. Could be the case of playing the other one first, but it doesn't really make much difference. Wasn't a formality that, but it always felt like Egan and Betts were the more likely winners. So it's run out. They got the job done by 3 frames to 1, with time intervening to end the match. When we come back after this break, we will have our 6th and final match of the night.